Kristina Nelson, and I chose to do my cultural immersion project focusing on homosexual orientation because I really don't have a lot of friends or family members of that group, so I felt that I could use a little bit more learning. For my plunge, I attended a gathering with my interviewee that consisted of people he had met through support groups after his coming out. It was a cookout, and everyone chatted over stuff happening in their lives. There was only maybe a couple straight people there, and the rest was an even majority of lesbian women and gay men. Everyone was very welcoming and respectful towards each other as well as me. I found it very comforting and welcoming. I enjoyed the cookout and conversations I had with not only the single members of that group, but couples as well. Learning their past and the goals they have of their future was very rewarding to me. I felt like they were letting me in and letting me get to know them more and understand some of their personal obstacles that they had to overcome to be where they are today. Overall, I felt very comfortable with the group. It didn't feel much different than your average family cookout. Together, this group became its own little family, and they support each other. They support newcomers as well, and they're very outgoing. So, on to the interview. My interviewee was a young white male. He is gay, and he was in his early 20s. He is a member in this group. Him being a member in this group to him is very important because throughout his life, he had felt like he was never really fitting in. Many of his friends were friends with him prior to him coming out, but not so much friends with him afterwards. Acceptance is particularly important to him because of his sexuality. It is not always accepted everywhere in society. A source of pride for him is to accept who he is, and to not let others' judgments bring him down or make him feel like less of a person. This group and how this group affects social life. Wait, the wrong one. People who are afraid of gay men or lesbian women are less desirable amongst this group. They also aren't a big fan of people who don't believe that they should be allowed to get married as opposed to straight couples. And how does this group affect social life? Being gay can be very difficult for many people in this social group. That it doesn't really affect others as much as it affects them. It's how they are accepted that affects them. And it's the same thing with jobs. Some jobs are accepting of their sexuality and other people are not. It all really depends on the person they meet and how that person accepts you or not. Marriages amongst members in this group is illegal in some geographical locations. Currently, there is actually a very big political movement, to passing the laws in many states for gay marriages, as well as being able to adopt children or have surrogates. In some states, you can actually get married and be gay, but you cannot be a surrogate and carry for a gay couple. My research did show a lot of that. I learned about many of the political things that are going on, about the movement and how much it's actually grown. It's been going on for years, but it's definitely gotten bigger in the last few years. They have a lot of different things that the public does to show support for gay marriages, as well as adoptions and the family life amongst homosexuals. And then, as for my interviewee, I didn't really see much of an interaction of oppression other than his sexuality. He was a white male. He doesn't get he was, I guess, well off, I would say. He doesn't have very many financial struggles, so he doesn't have a big crossover of oppression like if he was Hispanic and male, and Hispanic and gay. So he doesn't really have I couldn't see a big thing of impression there. And then when it comes to counseling homosexuals, I think that an important thing to keep in mind would be to understand where they came from, how their coming out was. I feel that their coming out is a very important part of their life. It kind of goes from, it's almost like, my opinion growing up. it's one of the biggest things they have to overcome is to tell their family and their friends their sexuality, because you never know how someone will accept it. Knowledge that I gained throughout this experience was that it is actually more difficult than I thought. I thought marriage was the only thing that you could have a struggle in, but to learn that you can get married in a state, but you can't have somebody carry your child for a gay couple to have children, I think is kind of ridiculous. It's a bit much. I mean, you're allowing them to have married, but you're not allowing them to have their families. This definitely impacted me. It definitely made me see a different side of it, and I actually kind of want to be a little more supportive to them and help them get the rights they deserve. So I guess I just, will be more active in it. It is different than mine, but I believe everybody has their own right to their own sexuality as long as religion, so it all should be the same. And learning more about the person you speak with would be helpful.